Welcome back. This is another exciting episode of Mr. Takeda's Teaching Math 7. This is lesson 8.3 on the area of circles. How do we find the areas of circles? Well, that's a good question. So good, I'm going to call it the essential question. Here's the big idea. The area of a circle is the product of pi. So we know pi is what? Pi is that ratio of circumference over diameter. And but the area is is pi times the radius squared. Okay, so here's where some people kind of get confused sometimes. The circumference was what? Circumference was pi times 2r, and the area is pi times r squared. People kind of get these confused. I just want to point out that whenever we talk about area is always in square units. So that square there is really the thing that sets these two apart, because we're going to multiply area times area. Radius times radius. That's how we get square units. Is in square units, and that should help remind you which is which here. Circumference is 2 pi r. Area is pi r squared. Okay. Finding the area of a circle. Use 22/7 for pi. All right. So the area of the circle we said was pi r squared. This is nice. They use 22/7 and this is 7, so it should be nice. Okay, so area is going to equal pi is 22/7. The radius is 7, so 7 squared. All right. Okay, so this area is going to be 22/7 times 49. So we can kind of do this in our head a little bit. 49 divided by 7 is 7. So this is 22 times 7. So it should be 140 plus 14. It should be 154. And that's going to be centimeters squared, squared centimeters. Remember I said area is always in square units. So 154 square centimeters. Okay. I think there's another example here. Yeah, this one uses 3.14 for pi. And in this case, they're giving us the diameter. But whenever we do area, I think we want to talk about radius, right? We want to talk about radius. So the radius is 13. So in this case, the area is going to be equal to pi times 13 squared, pi r squared. Oh, I should have put 3.14 in there. Area equals 3.14 times 13 squared. All right, so let's just go ahead and simplify this. Then this is not too bad. Area equals 3.14. 13 squared, I believe, is 169. So we have to multiply 3.14 times 169. And pulling out my handy dandy calculator, 530.66. 530.66, and this is inches squared, or really square inches, I should write for you guys. 530.66 square inches. Okay, so this is really a matter of just substituting information into the into these little formulas. Try this one. Okay, so when you put this, basically what this is when you put the answer into the end of the notepad here, you're not going to have to put units of measure. Just put the number that you get, okay? Because you're filling in this blank, and so these units of measure is already here. All right, pause it here, do your work, join me on the screen. Those are for in class. Okay, example 2, describing a distance. You want to find the distance the monster truck travels when the tires make one 360-degree rotation. That means it goes all the way around one time. Which best describes this distance? The radius of the tire, the diameter of the tire, the circumference of the tire, the area of the tire. Okay, now there's a couple of clues here. So first of all, I want to point out we're talking about distance here, right? And so if I have a tire on the ground and I have a point on the tire, like right here, and I start to roll this tire. So I'm rolling this tire where, you know, if I take a quarter turn, right, now that point is up here. I mean, that red point's up here. And if I go again, if I keep going, now that point's up here. So it's there, there, there. If I go again, now the point's going to be here until I go all the way around, and that point is now back here on the ground. Right? We start on the ground and we end on the ground. Okay, so which best describes this distance? Now, it can't be area because area is not a distance. And radius of the tire and diameter of the tire, well, it does kind of, those are distances, but they're distances from the center to the outside. In this case, it's the circumference of the tire. The circumference of the tire is the distance around the tire. So if the tire rotates one time, like I said, if this point here goes around one time till it's back on the ground, that whole circumference has been translated into a distance. So in this case, it's circumference. Yeah, I don't know why that's an example, but it's a type of problem you might see on a test, right? See if you understand circumferences and radiuses and all that stuff. That one's for in class. We'll do that one in class. Let's take a look at this last, I think this is the last example here. Finding the area of a semicircular orchestra pit. Now, when we did circumferences, we know that for a semicircle, we just take that circumference and divide it by 2. Well, the same is true for area. We're going to find the area of the entire circle and then cut it in half. So we get just half of the area left. Okay, so I've got this area equals pi r squared. So area equals 3.14 times. What's the radius of a circle that has a 30-foot diameter? 15, right? Half of it. 15 squared. Okay, so the area of the circle is 3.14, and 15 squared is 225. So I have to do that on the calculator because I can't do that kind of stuff in my head. 3.14 times 225, 706.5. Now that's the area of the circle. So now I have to take, for that semicircle, I take that and I divide it by 2. And I get 353.25. And in this case, it's going to be square feet. Okay, so the idea is the same from when we did circumferences. You just take the whole circle and divide it by 2, because semi means half. Okay, try this one. You can pause it here, but this is the end of the video. Try this one. Put your answer in at the end of the vid, and again, the units are already given to you here, so don't worry about putting the units into your answer. Just put the numerical part into your answer at the end of the video. All right, I'll see you in class. Thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.